Hi, my name is Jacob Baker, and today I get to present to you about an idea I have for a company called Tabletop. So what are we and what do we do? Tabletop is going to be a gaming cafe where people can come in and select from a variety of hundreds of different board games and play them along with friends and family. This is going to give them opportunity to try new games they've never tried before at a very reasonable rate. The way the business is going to be set up is people can either come in and pay a daily pass to play all day and play as many board games as they want that day, or they can subscribe to the subscription model, which is billed monthly. And they can come as much as they want during that month. Additionally, the subscription model is going to have a metagame. That's going to be a game outside of actually coming to Tabletop and playing games there. It'll be based on puzzles and clues and played with the rest of the community and subscribers. We're also going to have game night events for subscribers, themed nights, that kind of thing. Tabletop is a part of the entertainment industry, so we're going to be competing with other entertainment industry companies such as bowling alleys, archery ranges, movie theaters, that kind of thing. So our mission and our vision. Our mission is to make a place that is just as comfortable as being home, but then even better. We want people coming out of their homes with their friends and family to play board games, to socialize, to kind of experience things they haven't done before. We can improve upon the home experience by making it as comfortable as home and then including other elements such as the community or food and drink service and along those kind of things. The mission statement is to provide quality in all of these items and then also to further tabletop gaming as a whole to bring it back into the spotlight. So Blue Ocean strategy. The way Tabletop is going to work with our Blue Ocean strategy is through two ways: smart inventory management and our Donate a New Game program. The gaming cafe is not a widespread industry yet. There's nothing like that in Riverside. We're going to be the first people here. And the way we're able to capitalize on this is most people will have an inventory and have to sell it out, such as, a bookstore like Barnes & Noble selling out their books. Except our inventory is going to be reused time and time again so that we're able to make the most amount of money off of the inventory that's already existing. In conjunction with this, the Donate a Game program is going to be a way for people to donate a game to our inventory. The benefit they get is they will have a free month subscription, so they can come as much as they want, and they're going to be pulled more tightly into that community. They're going to have contributed something and want to be able to go there and look at the shelf and say, hey, that's my game, I gave that. And then it'll allow us to expand our inventory, and so we'll have more games for everyone. So who we serve? Who are the people we're looking at? It's going to be people 18 to 35 in Riverside alone. That's over 87,000 people. Income levels of 15,000 to about 50,000 for individuals, or 35 to 100 for households, and people who like playing board games. The area we're going to be focusing on most is college students because they meet these criteria. They have money to spend. They want to go out and socialize with people. And also a lot of people who go to college away from home aren't going to have brought their board games to play with people. So it's a really, really good customer segment for this purpose. This slide just shows those three different demographics and that there's growth in every single one of those areas. The one to pay a particular attention to is the successfully funded games. Over the last few years, people have crowdsourced funded games. So these are not investors. This is your everyday person who goes online, wants to be able to invest into a game so that they can play it. And this is really showing the renewed interest that we're seeing nowadays with board gaming and the millennial generation. So our locations. Like I already said, we want to be next to a college. So our idea is to be next to UCR in Riverside, and there's two locations. One in University Village, which is in walking distance of UCR. That location is about 2,700 square feet. The second location is University Heights, once again, within walking distance of UCR, and that one's about 2,400 square feet. So our company structure. Tabletop is going to be formed as an LLC. The primary reason behind this is that it will allow me to make the hard decisions that need to be made to further the company as a whole. And it's also going to limit my liability for any issues with the company, which is going to allow me to make the decisions I need to make without being scared of the risk associated with it. That's going to be more beneficial to the company. Additionally, it's going to avoid any of the corporate double taxation or the cost of setting up a corporate structure. At this point, we really don't need that structure. The limited liability will be more than sufficient. So our social media and presence. Social media is a huge, amazing tool we can use. It's cost effective. Everyone knows these benefits. It's really cheap to advertise on social media, and that's going to hit our target demographic. Marketing. Never before has there been so much data available. You can say the type of person you want, the age range, the income range, the location. You can drill down very specifically to hit that very specific customer target. The issue with marketing is it has to be done in a very genuine way. People on the internet have a way of finding out if something's not genuine or kind of just being done as a stunt, and it can be rejected. The internal benefits are going to be for the community. We're able to connect one-on-one with community members through the metagame, that kind of thing. We'll kind of breeze through some of these other ones. Communication, pretty straightforward. Once again, we can communicate directly with the community. That's going to be a big thing of Tabletop is we want to build out this community. We want to have a strong community foundation that's feeding back into the company. And reviews. Reviews are going to be one of the biggest things that we can use with social media. We want people talking about this. We want people sharing this. We want people having positive feedback. And in the instance there is negative feedback, we need to quickly address that. We need to say, I'm sorry this was your experience. How can we make it better? To stay on top of that. Competitive advantages. So to have a competitive advantage, it needs to meet a criteria of being valuable, rare, costly to copy, and not easily substituted. So Tabletop has 3 of these competitive advantages that I will cover very briefly. The first one, a unique social experience. This is not a social experience you can get anywhere else, especially in the entertainment industry. You're going to be sitting around a board game, you're going to be talking, you're going to be competing, you're going to be using cooperative methods to try to either beat another team or beat the game itself. That's not something you get sitting down and watching a movie with someone. That's not something you even go into a bowling alley. A lot of other entertainment activities are structured where the person doing the activity gets up, they go, they do the activity, then they come back to the group. With Tabletop, that's all inclusive the entire time you're in with it. So that is valuable. It's rare. It's costly to copy. The reason being, other entertainment industries can't just flip a switch and do this. A bowling alley can't just, say, oh, well, now it's all social, you're all bowling at once. The movie theater can't allow talking. It's not something that you can just all of a sudden do. It's built from the foundation up, which also makes it not easy to substitute. A range of unique games and the donation program. So there's hundreds of board games out there. What's going to be our competitive advantage is the time and place we're operating and the uniqueness of these games. Crowdsourcing, like I've already mentioned, is a big part of it. We want to support those people who are making games, and then we'll also be receiving the games in return. Our inventory is going to be unique. Unless there is someone else doing what we're doing at the same time in this same location, they're not going to have our inventory. A lot of these crowdsourced games are limited run, so once they're done, that's it. It's hard to get them. This is going to meet all those requirements of being valuable, rare, costly to copy, and not easily substituted. Lastly, the subscription service and metagame. The subscription service is valuable and not easily duplicated within the structure of someone who already exists. For example, there's another company called Silky Smooth. The way they're set up is they have a daily rate, or you can buy something at the cafe. If they were to try to introduce a subscription service, it would anger the customer base because that's not how they built it. Then, with the addition of the metagame, that is something unique to us. It's something I am creating. It's a puzzle I am creating. That's going to be very rare. It's going to be hard to copy. It's kind of like a piece of art, not to over dramatize it, but you can have thousands of artists making pieces of art. Some are valuable, some aren't, and they're all unique. So just because someone else creates the same thing doesn't mean it's the same quality and it's not the same product. So our startup costs, we're looking for $70,000 worth of investment funds. That's going to cover our startup costs of about $52,000 and the first month of expenses around $13,000 with a little bit left over. All of the startup costs do take in consideration a buffer. So we have a 10% buffer just on all the startup costs off the bat. The monthly costs, if it's appropriate, have variable buffers, which I'll kind of cover in the next slide. So you can see here that we have the padding. It's also a buffer. That is what's going to make sure that we stay within budget, that the $70,000 is going to be enough to cover everything we need to cover. You can just see here the startup costs are one-time things like the game inventory, the decor, tables, chairs, a POS system, that kind of stuff. Monthly expenses is what you'd expect. It's going to be rent, utilities, food, beverages, everything else that goes along with running a business. So our income. So, you decide to give us the $70,000. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But you want to see what the income is going to look like. This is what it looks like. So over a 12-month projection, we're going to see a return on investment. The income is very favorable. So our net sales are going to be about $34,000 with net expenses of $14,000. The net profit, $15,669 a month. So if you look at our graph right here, you can see that first month we're in the hole, but after that we're profitable. As of month 2, Tabletop is already turning a profit, and you can see it's projected to increase. Once you amortize that profit, it's about a 45% profit margin. The average for the industry is 42%. So for being a new business, for being in our first year, these are amazing, amazing projections that are realistic. So the break-even point is going to be around 350 customers a month. This is a very easily attainable goal. Another company that's based out of LA called Funhouse, they do about 3,000 people a month. So trying to hit 350 should not be an issue at all. For our projection purposes, we used around an average of 1,200 people a month. That is adjusted for fluctuations in seasonal times. But as you can see, it's definitely more than the break even. The profit is attainable. And so Tabletop is looking pretty good as an investment, I hope. Our final thoughts. So Tabletop is supposed to be an amazing, fun, community-based experience. This is a place for people to come, to socialize, to make friends, to feed back into a community, and to have fun. I think this is going to be a really unique opportunity. There's nothing like that around, and we hope that you invest. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Have a good day.